Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about another conflict, and this is about QA and product owners. This is generally very sensitive because QAs want to ensure the best quality possible, but sometimes they go in directions that are unneeded for the product, and product owners will go crazy. How can we deal with that? Because if we don't solve these conflicts, there will be frustrations everywhere, and that's not sustainable. I'd like to start illustrating one scenario of what to do and what not to. In one of the plays I worked for, there was a tense line between developers and QA, and I started observing what was happening. I remember one user story, and it was going back and forth. Developers would say,
"We have done everything, now please go ahead and test."
and QAs would go there and say,
Rejected.
and developers,
"What the hell?"
and then QAs would say,
Of course it's rejected, it's not working on Kindle, so it means our customers cannot buy our products when they are using Kindle.
When I listened to that, I had to interfere. And then I asked, are you serious you're testing on Kindle? Nobody's gonna buy our products from Kindle. Why are you doing that? And then the QA looked at me and said,
Well, you never told us where we should test, and then I was testing in all browsers and no, and then I got to know that Kindle has a browser and I started testing.
I realized that there was a point on that. We haven't get to an agreement what to test, where to test. So we didn't have a browser matrix, and that led to misunderstandings. QAs were testing everywhere you could imagine, spending a lot of time doing that and making it harder for the front-end developers to make it work. And here is the point. Before you start testing, regardless if QA is a role in the team, if it is the team doing that, you need to have an agreement of which browser to test and why is it important. But look at the following. You should look at your analytics and make the decisions based on your audience. Don't make decisions based on your gut feelings. Because, for example, in many scenarios, if you decide to prioritize Internet Explorer, you will slow down, for example, your development. And then if you look at the numbers, you may have 2-3% of your users. Does it worth putting effort into that? Most probably not. So you should not support some browsers like this. So the point is, without an agreement, teams will struggle and there will be fights and inefficiency, and that's not what you want. Now let me connect to the second point of confusion between QA and product owners. Sometimes QAs are outside of the Scrum team. And what does it happen? It happens that the process is a little bit awkward, and I've been in some situations like that. Developers work as hard as possible to get to a done level, but then the QA will do the testing afterwards, generally not so synchronized with the sprint, and the ticket will go back and forth all the time. And since QAs are far from developers, they will not have a common understanding, and without a common understanding, inevitably there will be confusion. And if you have this scenario, my suggestion is you integrate QA within the Scrum team. Because if you don't do that, it's inevitable there will be a fight between both teams. Because it should be one single team, the Scrum team, and everyone should collaborate towards the same goal, which is a sprint goal. But still, once you have QAs inside the team with the role of QAs, because sometimes it's like this, developers are doing the tests and they don't have the role of QA. But some people, they have the job title of a QA and they are inside the Scrum team. The point is, you have to ensure everyone is going in the same direction, everyone is pursuing the same goal, and the agreements are made with the team. Don't try to make it separated, because I did that, and I have to say, it doesn't work. In one of the scenarios, I was preparing the sprint planning with the Scrum team and then synchronizing with the QAs. And QAs were not part of all conversations. I thought I was helping them. Actually, I created some silos which led us to numerous confusions. And I cannot recommend you to do that. Focus on collaboration over process. The next question I want to ask is when to test. Well, some teams, they generally have something called as the PO approval. It means that after the PO sign off, the user story is ready to go. Well, I'm not a big fan of that. I like more about providing the feedback and ensure we are on the same understanding. But still, there might be one of the steps until getting to the done level, that is, the test is done. The test is the quality assurance. Who is going to do that? It doesn't matter in this point I want to say. But the question is, who comes first? Is it the PO feedback or the QA evaluation? I have to say that my opinion is the PO feedback should come first to avoid rework. The sooner you provide feedback to developers as a product owner, the faster you get the ticket done. Why? Because let's suppose you wait until developers put on a testing environment, and then QAs will do all the tests, and then after that you can test on staging. And then you find something, and then you return that to the developer, and the developer will fix, and then QA will say,
if that is changed, I have to do the QA all over again.
and that can cause slowness in the process. But if you do like this, whenever developer has something to show, you go and you check with developers. Because the point is not about signing off. It's about providing feedback to ensure what was agreed is delivered. You want to prove that you are solving a problem. It's not really about approving what developers are doing. So the sooner you can provide feedback, the better it will be. Because let's take a look at this. Developers make something and they say,
Hey, could you have a look at these? I think it's done.
and then you go and you evaluate together. And you provide quick feedback. Developer will fix together with you. And then you say, for me it's ready to go. After that, there will be the QA phase. Developer say, it's ready. And then it goes to a done level. But you see, you wouldn't repeat the QA in this scenario. And that will accelerate the process instead of slowing down. But the most important part is, don't behave as a boss when you are a product owner. Behave as an enabler. Think about feedback instead of approval. That will make things easier. You don't want to approve the job. You want to provide feedback to ensure we are going the right direction. Now, I'd like to talk to you about the polemic topic. Who has the final word on going live? QAs or product owners? Because it might happen something like this. QAs will say,
I will not allow to go live because it is missing some of the tests and in our perception is not ready to go. We block that.
and product owners may look and say, as the accountable and responsible for maximizing the value for the end user and the businesses, I demand it goes live right now. There will be a conflict. Who has the power of going live? Well, in theory, the product owner. The product owner can take the risk. But do we need to do that? I think it's not sustainable because a top-down will hurt the team, will hurt really the relationship. You should solve the root cause. If QAs or developers and product owner have a different perspective, it means that the agreement is not clear. Someone is understanding apple and the other is understanding banana. And if they are not talking about the same thing, it's not gonna work. You should ask the QAs, why are you blocking? Why, in your perception, we cannot go live? And then the QA will share. And then it can be the QA has a different perspective and will give some light to you as a product owner. And then you can decide if you want to solve this or not. But you should say, well, we should agree on going live. It is not about forcing the team doing something they are not up to. Sometimes the QA may look at you and say,
We are not ready to go live because in the footnotes we have 2 typos and until the typos are fixed we are not going live.
as a product owner, you may look and say, I don't care about these typos, nobody is going to read that. But if you think on the effort to fix the typo, it's trivial. Developers can fix that like this, fixed. See? The time you're talking about this, it's already fixed. But if the QA is looking at you and saying,
Well, it is not working on Safari mobile version blah 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 and the blah blah blah.
and then you say, well, actually our users are only using desktop version, so why the hell we are testing on Safari? Then you can say, we don't need this. and then QAs will stop testing. But the point here is clear. Whenever there are these conflicts, don't go for the top-down. Go for the clarification and understanding why someone is talking apple and the other is talking banana. And then you can ensure that both are talking about the same thing and you need to be on the same page. To summarize everything I said here about the conflicts between both, agree on what has to be tested and how. Then you avoid problems of wasting time. The second part is, no matter how, if the QAs are part of the team or outside, integrate them with the Scrum team. It will make things easier. It will foster collaboration instead of creating a process. And also, when it comes to the question when to test, focus once again collaboration. And don't go for approval, go for feedback, because you want to ensure the team is able to make decisions on their own. You don't want to be the bottleneck for the team. And when you want to go live and there is a conflict, instead of giving a top-down, solve the conflict and ensure everyone has the same understanding. Then you can go live. I would be curious to know your experience on this topic. Write down the comment. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you want more content like this, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.